Thank you for listening to the Gateway to the Rockies podcast from Visit Aurora, from the rafters of the Stanley Marketplace. This is the show dedicated to telling the stories of Aurora, Colorado. Hi there, I'm Dave, the Director of Marketing for Visit Aurora. One of the most transformative places in Aurora is the Fitzsimons Innovation Community. It's a 125-acre powerhouse of research, discovery, and life-changing ideas sitting right next to the world-class CU Anschutz Medical Campus, and leading this ambitious vision is President and CEO Kelly Brough. So great to see you, Kelly.
It's so great to be here.
You've had such a storied career, public, private, nonprofit sectors. What drew you personally to the life sciences innovation ecosystem?
You know, when the opportunity presented, so it was a former board member who reached out to me and said, hey, there's this opportunity in Aurora I think you'd be really interested in. And when I started to dig in, I was amazed at what I found. This campus is the second largest economic driver in the state of Colorado. Nobody knows that. I was like, oh, I can help change that. And its vision for the future is amazing. You know, what it's doing today is so respectable, so cool. What it can do and will do for the future of our state is truly incredible. And I just felt like I love being part of something that has meaning and impact. I'm in.
Yeah, for many of our listeners, they may think of Aurora as a residential or commuting community, but the Fitzsimons Innovation Community, this is a different beast. What makes it so unique and different from other research campuses?
First, I just have to give credit. 30 years ago when this campus was transitioning from an Army post to what it is today, it was those leaders then with the city of Aurora and CU who said, I think this can be a bio and life science center of innovation. And they've delivered on it. So now you have 3 hospitals. 2 of them are nationally ranked. You have the CU Anschutz campus, medical school, and all the degrees that go with it. And you have these labs that we build at Fitzsimons that allow for that tech transfer. That vision is really what we should be giving credit for. And we're just continuing to carry it on today. What's even cooler, though, I think, is not only did we say that vision still stands, but we started to define it in a new way with incredible density, where we say, hey, this land is valuable. This work is incredible. Let's build it more densely, more labs, more housing, more retail and restaurants, and make a vibrant Aurora's first urban development. And we just got that master plan approved this year.
Yeah, the master plan for FIC covers several decades and multiple phases of build out. Can you walk us through some of the key milestones of the plan, what's already done, what's underway, and maybe what's still ahead that you can tell us about?
I can. The campus, I sort of don't like this fact, but the campus is kind of divided by Montview, north and south. Mm-hmm. And south of Montview is really where you see CU Anschutz and the hospitals, and north is where you really see the labs and the residential and retail and housing. And so what we really did with the master plan is say, let's re-envision the north part of Montview. So it becomes, instead of, I think, almost 800 housing units is what had been approved, we got approved over 7,000 housing units, significantly increasing the lab space and the density. Again, you have 2 light rail stops on this campus, 2 interstates. You're 20 minutes from DIA. You have bus rapid transit on Colfax. You really should build a really beautiful place that people want to be. And then the other thing I love about the master plan is we started to really recognize Sand Creek and that open space. And that when you have this kind of density and you have access to that kind of open space, you kind of get the best of both worlds for people in terms of quality of life. And so we really developed a master plan that recognized, how do you bring us back into nature in Colorado? It's really cool.
Yeah, one of the big opportunities you often talk about is the 50 sprawling acres of additional space for ultra custom facility development. What types of uses or tenants are you actively targeting for that space?
Yeah, so, our board continues to subscribe to the mission that says we're in the bio-life science space. And so that's pretty broad, though. So we have lots of options. But what we really attract are those kind of early stage companies where maybe a doc or a faculty member or somebody working in healthcare has an idea, and it's an innovative idea, and they need a place to test it out or to do the research. That's where we come in. We offer really inexpensive space where those early startups can come in, and then we grow with them. So they move into their own space, they can move into manufacturing, but it's an evolution on the campus, and we've built it with the intention of that evolution of those companies.
You've touched on this a little bit already. I don't know that residents and those of us who've lived here our entire lives really understand the strength and the authority that that area has within the research and medical industries. Can you provide some context on how vital of a driver this community is?
Yeah. Let me just give you some numbers, because when I saw these numbers, this is where you're like, this is a powerhouse for our state. So today, about 2.6 billion patients, or million patients are coming onto this campus. Over 2 million people coming onto the campus to get care. We have over 3,500 active clinical trials. This is research that is testing an idea that improves patients' lives or saves their lives. We have 13 billion in economic impact for the state, 4,600 students, 6 schools and colleges on the campus, 60 centers and institutes, the 3 hospitals I mentioned. You start to just get a sense of the magnitude and the volume. Today, over 30,000 people work every single day on this campus and are coming in and out to support the work we're doing.
And I imagine part of the master plan is making sure that you have accessible living for everybody within that community. From people who are just working at the hospital, making sure that it's supported, to, CEOs of technological startups, I imagine.
That's exactly. And I think, obviously you can commute onto this campus like people would into a downtown, but you can also now choose to live on this campus. And we're building that range of housing that attracts the range of employees that we have on the campus. And it's an incredible option.
With many master plans, balancing speed with quality, I imagine, is one of the biggest challenges. Are there constraints or speed bumps that you see now in bringing this vision to full realization? Or I guess maybe opportunities is probably a more positive way to look at that.
Yeah, I think most people have said to me, well, you picked the wrong time, Kelly, to try. It is a challenging market out there. It's challenging to build anything. The cost of money is still higher than anybody wants. Uncertainty, in the United States today is high, particularly in the space we're working of research and innovation. So yeah, it's challenging, but I still see the path. We definitely see the possibility. My board of directors is as in as ever. And so we're pretty optimistic. And I think what we have going for us is we can wait and pick the right windows in time and the right partners to get this work done. And I think that makes all the difference.
I can't imagine everything that goes into balancing, regulatory constraints or infrastructure, market demand, funding. How are you able to juggle all of those things?
Yes. Well, we'll see how I'm juggling all of those things as we go forward. I will say kind of 2 pieces about it. To help that development occur, we're really looking at how do you put in place, the things you and I take for granted, the infrastructure that allows for that development. This is roads and utilities and parks. Those are also the things that define us and can create a great place. So we're spending our time figuring out how best do we put those things in and what do they look like. That foundation will be invaluable. But we're also thinking about what do you do in the short term before you build all of the beauty that's about to come to really activate the place? How do you have festivals or urban gardens on the campus, food trucks that really bring in community and start to build this sense of a gathering place? And so we're looking at those things in the interim as well, so that it's not just wait 25 years before you get the pretty master plan. It's kind of a long-term transition toward it, where more and more people get to be on this campus and experience it.
I know you're not allowed to pick your favorite children, but is there a certain aspect of the development that particularly excites you or gets you revved up a little bit?
I think to be in a city that recognizes if we're going to address the cost of housing, you really do need to deliver more housing and you need to deliver more options. For me, was just inspirational. And the city of Aurora, in working on this master plan, really recognized the importance of building a range of housing and gave us unlimited height to be able to build. Now that's a market issue how soon can we get that tall?
Yeah.
But I suppose because I believe so strongly that owning a home and housing is what often changes people's lives and allows them to build wealth and their children to go to college. And I really think this is foundational. And I love being in a city that saw it too and created a master plan with us that recognized the importance of that.
Aurora doesn't have a typical downtown. Yet.
We're going to be it.
Yeah.
I hope so.
For visitors and residents who are kind of watching this development begin, what are some of the things that they're going to start seeing over these next few years?
Yeah. I think what they're going to see is that, often, particularly universities, when you visit them, they're kind of like they focus inside and the exterior walls kind of say, hey, none of you belong in here. We're shifting that to say, how do we soften our edges and really invite community in? So you're going to see us do things that bring people on the campus, not because they have to go to the hospital or because they're going to school, but because they want to be on the campus experiencing. And for us, this kind of fits in that master plan. We think of it in terms of whether you live on our campus, you work on our campus, you research on our campus, you teach on our campus, you're a healthcare professional, whatever it is, we are creating the healthiest life possible for you to live. And so every single thing we do is about building all the ways you build healthy living. And that's community for your mental health. That's walking for your physical health. That's the beauty of parks and open space, all of those pieces. And so I think what you'll see us is start to create that place in the next few years and you'll get to create it with us.
It's about thoughtful and responsible development, which is beautiful. It's also, let's be frank, a economic driver. The campus itself, is a bigger economic driver than Colorado's ski industry.
Yeah.
So talk a little bit about the job creation and the economic impact that the development will also bring to what is already a vital economic driver for our community.
Yeah. This is cool because the truth is to quality of life, opportunity, healthy living all come with meaning people have access to really good jobs. And I really emphasize really good jobs that change lives, that come with benefits, and you get healthcare coverage and you get a retirement plan. And, those are the kinds of jobs we're focused on this campus. And those are the jobs we'll be delivering. But the other part of that is also asking the question, how do we make sure it's our own community who gets access to those jobs? So on our campus, the School of Science and Technology is right there on the campus, where we work with them to make sure those students have internships so they can see where the opportunities are throughout our campus. Opening in 2027 will be a school that is dedicated with 5 pathways into healthcare. Those kids will all have internships on our campus and be able to see a pathway to their careers. And our researchers are constantly looking at how do you make sure people understand not everybody has a PhD. Yes, we have some really smart people working out there, but there's a range of jobs and they're good jobs. And so we're really doing a great job of making sure we have credentials and opportunities for people who say, I don't really want a PhD, but I do want to work in research. And I think you'd be shocked how many 2-year degrees basically we have working in those labs. And they're amazing professionals.
And having that pool of talent right there, it's truly a win-win.
It is a win-win. And this is, the race to the finish line of success is your talent pipeline. And we have really focused on making sure in Aurora we have a talent pipeline coming in.
You've touched on this a little bit. The FIC hosting companies that range from early stage startups to scaling manufacturing operations and much more. Do you have a couple of stories of companies or researchers on the campus, past or present, that kind of illustrate from idea to commercialization, how this ecosystem works?
Yeah, there's a few. Refined Science is a company that was started using data to basically analyze health issues, and they were just an idea. And today they're a company that is very successful, has moved into their own space and continues to grow. And it's so exciting. They came out of the university with their idea and have evolved with us. There's some others. There's a company called Rheumagen. They're working on I tell everybody, listen, I'm going to totally screw up what your research is. It's way too complicated, but I'll always be complimentary.
Right.
Rheumagen is looking at what's that kind of gateway gene that you could address when the body, your body attacks itself. Rheumatoid arthritis is an example of that. And can they click that gene and do some things to it that will prevent continued destruction of your own body? And they're making incredible headway. I will say watching them grow and their success has been so inspiring. And again, they came out of Clinimmune, which is a CU company that was started on our campus and continues to spin off these other companies and these other ideas. Gates Biomanufacturing, this is an institute that has really looked at, particularly the ones that inspire me are young kids with like leukemia, their ability to take the cells out of that child, my words, teach those cells how to go in and kill the bad guys.
Yeah.
But, unlike chemotherapy, it doesn't destroy the good cells. And it is so successful, this personalized medicine approach. And they continue to have incredible success. They've treated 50 patients now, and they understand what kind of life-changing potential they have. Now the challenge will be, how can you do it a little less expensively and provide it to even more patients?
This is transformative work that is happening in our community.
Yeah.
I love the idea with the FIC about the placemaking aspect of it, especially as someone who is directly promoting the amenities that our visitors and residents can take advantage of. Can you shine a light on some of the specifics of the green spaces, the art, and the other community events that are aspirational for the FIC?
Yeah. I think this is a way we have evolved that I love, because today I think on our campus, our team, everybody on our team recognizes the value of parks and open space, the value of and the inspiration that public art brings, and how important it is to what we're trying to build. And I would say 10, 15, 20 years ago probably wasn't seen as important as it is today. And what you realize is all those pieces together are really what make the place. And so we're working really hard to realize we're making a place, not just a place to do research, but a place that inspires people, that you want to be part of, that you're outdoors in community together. And so we have also toured places around the country to try to see what others have done, steal their good ideas and bring them home. It's exciting.
Personally, you love biking, hiking.
Right.
You're Colorado to the core, and that personal passion is also translated to some of the master plan. Can you talk a little bit about some of those amenities, particularly as it relates to sustainability, mobility, and wellness oriented design?
Yeah. So, we have 2 light rail stops on the campus. One of the things we're working on is, how do you get more people on that train? What could that look like? How do we be really strategic about it? Like, do you start to run the train at shift change for the hospitals instead of 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? If you do it around shift change, would that be really convenient? How do you have maybe it's an autonomous bus service that picks people up every 5 minutes at that train stop, so that, you're not waiting at all.
Yeah.
And you feel really safe. Lots of people are doing it. Every street we build, we think about, how does a cyclist like Kelly Brough get on this street safely and move across the campus? Pedestrians is the same. So we focus on, how do we get you to park your car when you get there, or come in on the train and then move you around the campus. The entire campus is a square mile. That's not that huge. And when you really are smart about how you move people, you realize you can do it pretty efficiently, and create this desire to want to walk, to want to bike, to want to be out of your car on this campus because the experiences will be amazing.
You mentioned this a little bit, drawing inspiration from other communities. I think of probably Boston, San Francisco as hubs of this kind of innovation. How do we stand out in what is ultimately kind of a competitive space?
Yeah, it's definitely a competitive space. I think the first thing is we really are efficient in everything we do. So we try to think about, how do I get you into this lab space so it's not so expensive? And the coasts are pretty expensive still.
Yeah.
And people are appreciating that, particularly funders of these early stage companies are appreciating, this lab will get us 6 more months of research versus that other lab. And when you got to get to FDA approvals and all of those things, that really matters. So we're competitive on price, but we're also competitive on quality of life. We have a lot to offer in terms of quality of life in Colorado, and we're extremely competitive when it comes to our workforce. We're still the second most educated workforce in the nation. We're just smarter than everyone else, so we're really first. And we have a plan to ensure we can maintain that pipeline into the workforce. The access to DIA, huge. I will tell you, number one issue I'm asked all the time is, how long will it take my team or my tissue to get to DIA, because I'm moving product or people, and that 20 minutes is amazing. So we have a lot of competitive advantages. Some of the things I saw, though, like when I was in Boston, they have a parking garage. Like many of us have parking garages. Theirs, though, they structured it so you'd want to take the stairs, because they basically did at each platform like a garden. Oh. An urban garden. And you would get to the platform and you kind of wanted to see it, and there would be plants on the walk up. And those are the kind of things we're thinking about now that really create beautiful environments that you want to be in. And you choose maybe to take that instead of the stairs or instead of the elevator, because you're like, it's beautiful to be on the stairs.
Finding opportunities for inspiration in unlikely spaces.
Exactly.
I love that. You have an incredible background in public service and government. What role does public policy and government-private partnerships play in the master plan, and how do you kind of navigate that?
I love this question. First, I will say I'm so proud to be a government employee. Yeah. I love public service, and I know it comes from probably how I grew up, where my family depended on public support. That said, I also ran the Denver Metro Chamber of Commerce, and really we supported economic development throughout the region. And what I really have gained an appreciation for is the only way you get the best things done, you solve the biggest challenges, is when all three sectors, public, private, and nonprofit, really come together. We each have a superpower. We each have things we do really well. And when we help each other do those things and we do them together, we can go way further, way faster. And I promise you, the Fitzsimons campus is going to bring together those three superpowers to show you what's possible and the speed at which we can develop.
Very well said. Very well said. I love that. I know that you have to take this day by day by day, email by email by email, meeting by meeting by meeting, but I can't help myself. What are we looking at 10 years from now? 5 years from now? 15 years from now? 20 years from now? What are we looking at?
Yeah. You're going to see this really beautiful urban development with a range of housing options, with more labs and more retail and restaurants and activity 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, where it's really a vibrant, busy, exciting place to be. You're also going to see where the boundaries of this square mile really bleed into our community, and it becomes less clear where those lines are, and our community sees themselves on our campus and we see ourselves in community. But that's what you're going to see, is you're going to see a vibrant downtown for the city of Aurora.
Kelly, you are bringing something, and your team are bringing an asset to the community that is going to elevate the future of Aurora for generations to come. And I'm so excited and so grateful for all your hard work and grateful for your time today.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much.
That's Kelly Brough, the CEO and president of the Fitzsimons Innovation Community. You can learn more at fitzsimonsinnovation.com. Thank you for listening to the Gateway to the Rockies podcast. Visit Aurora is the official destination marketing organization for the city of Aurora, Colorado, and acts as the primary liaison between meeting planners and hotel partners. As Aurora's Convention and Visitors Bureau, Visit Aurora's mission is grounded in showcasing Aurora as a premier destination for meetings, business, and leisure travel. Visit Aurora represents more than 75 plus hotel properties with 13,500 plus guest rooms and more than 1 million square feet of meeting space, including Colorado's largest resort, Gaylord Rockies Resort and Convention Center. As Colorado's third largest city, Aurora is located minutes away from Denver International Airport and showcases mountain views, memorable meeting spaces, and 250 plus international eateries that offer a unique experience for each and every visitor. As the gateway to the Rockies, Visit Aurora's role in the local community goes beyond marketing the city as a destination. The Visit Aurora team is here to assist you with your Colorado visit, from facilitating your meeting, event, or convention to helping you discover local flavor and attractions. Go beyond the boardroom in Aurora, Colorado. For more, visit us at visitaurora.com.